mind. Because you care no more, because you go no more, because you won't let.
Good morning, subscribers and viewers. Good morning, lovely Wednesday morning, Down in the DC side of town, Trump and Biden are meet today. So say, ball game, new elected President Trump meeting Joe Biden to take over the White House, You know, no theme time yet, January or theme time, but them are meet up today. So I start the video with some little views of what the president are going with. You understand me, I say? We can't go wrong. What go on in a town, you understand me, I say? We'll see what go on in a town then. Let's see what look what go on in the day. Yeah. So we're ready for what go on? We could see what go on. Good. We'll read somewhere.
Can we break into CBS Mornings Plus to bring you this breaking news out of Washington? You're looking at Trump Force One, as his campaign refers to it, carrying President-elect Donald Trump as he arrives in the nation's capital for the first time since being elected to a second non-consecutive term. This is Joint Base Andrews. It's just outside the Capitol, where the aircraft has just touched down moments ago. So we expected to see Trump momentarily. And today he has significant meetings lined up to lay the groundwork for his transition back to the presidency. He will meet with the GOP House Conference first, but before heading there, he'll head to the White House. He'll be joined by President Biden for the traditional transition meeting in the Oval Office, which will be a historic moment for us all to witness. You may remember that Trump broke with that tradition back in 2020 and did not invite President-elect Biden to the White House because Trump was still disputing the results of that election. And wow, how things have changed in just 4 years. Last week, most American voters decisively chose Donald Trump to return to the White House and bring his brand of leadership back to Washington. So it's a significant moment for the country and for voters of Trump who wanted to see his style of leadership again leading the nation. CBS political reporter Libby Cathy, who has been following the Trump campaign during the hard-fought election cycle and now is focusing on the transition, joins us from our Washington bureau with more on this. Libby, what can we expect to see from the president-elect today?
Yeah, Errol, an historic day in Washington as former president, now President-elect Donald Trump returns for the first time since being elected to a second term. And now hear him landing at Joint Base Andrews. This is his first time at JBA since leaving office in January of 2021. That is a military facility in Maryland that presidents typically fly in and out of. So Trump going to deplane there momentarily as we're watching that, and has a very big day in Washington. Two big meetings on the agenda. First, meeting with Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill, as you mentioned. And we should note that this meeting, making his presence known before lawmakers today, is significant because they are holding leadership elections, both in the House and the Senate. In the Senate, first time they're selecting a new leader in 18 years. Now, Trump has not endorsed in those races, but his presence on Capitol Hill is saying, hey, put my agenda, the America First agenda, as he calls it, first. And then after meeting with Republican lawmakers, he will go to the White House, meeting with President Joe Biden at the invitation of Biden. This is hugely significant as it symbolizes the peaceful transfer of power, hallmark to American democracy. But this invitation was not extended by Trump to Biden when Biden won the presidency just 4 years ago. As you mentioned, Trump really refusing that peaceful transfer of power. But today, the tradition continuing. Biden inviting Trump last week, just a few days after, or really not too long after, it was clear that Trump was going to clinch the presidency. So they'll have that meeting in the Oval Office. I'm sure Biden will take the chance to talk about Ukraine and some other top priorities of his that he is concerned that Trump will abandon when he takes office here shortly. But Errol, huge day for the former president, now president-elect, returning to D.C. And this is not the first time. He did do some campaigning here, but for the first time since he has been given this mandate for a second term, Errol.
That's right. We stand by to watch the door there of Trump Force One, as his campaign calls it, to open and show the president-elect. We're listening to Libby Cathy from our D.C. bureau run through what we can expect on what's a significant day. And there's one other character, Libby, that is a part of today's presentation I want us all to keep an eye out for, and that's billionaire Elon Musk. We understand that Elon Musk will join the president-elect at today's GOP House conference. We have information that Elon Musk is, in fact, on board this aircraft with the president-elect as he makes this first impression in Washington as the newly minted president-elect. And we have heard also that Trump intends to put Musk, along with businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, as the leaders of a new agency known as the Department of Government Efficiency. It may be a non-government agency that, in Trump's words, will, quote, pave the way for his administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, essential to the Save America movement. We're just watching the doors open here now. It will be interesting to see how close Musk might be to Trump. Let's just stand by for a moment as we await for them to come to the door. But Libby, how significant was Musk in getting Trump elected?
Absolutely, Errol. Trump bringing Elon Musk with him to Washington in itself today is significant. Now, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, recently bought Twitter, renamed it X. And some say that platform alone had a big influence in the presidential election, as you saw Musk kind of with the algorithm put forth.
And Libby, we just want to acknowledge that we see the president-elect departing his plane, walking down the stairs as he returns to Washington, pushed by most American voters. And after winning every single swing state, with a type of electoral mandate to bring his style of business and political leadership back to the nation's capital. We see him now getting in his vehicle. It does not appear that he'll be taking any questions or addressing the press at this time. We did not see Elon Musk. We understand former First Lady Melania Trump is not with the president-elect on this trip. But continue, Libby, to explain how Elon Musk helped make this moment happen.
Yeah, Elon Musk has had Trump's ear for a while now and spending a lot of time with him this last week, this first week since Trump was elected. And as he fires off these cabinet picks, Elon Musk has appeared to have Trump's ear for all of it, and even traveling with him today to Washington for these hugely important meetings. Now, we've learned that Elon Musk will be with President-elect Trump when he meets with Republican lawmakers. It's not clear that he will be at that Biden meeting. Biden did not invite Elon Musk to the White House. He invited President-elect Trump. But Elon Musk's influence largely felt this week traveling with Trump when, as you mentioned, First Lady Melania Trump, former First Lady, incoming First Lady, is not with Trump today. But Elon Musk is. He has had quite the influence. And Trump yesterday appointing him to this new Department of Government Efficiency. This is something that Trump ran on and Elon ran on, saying that they would cut the waste out of government. Trump announcing that Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy would lead this department. A lot of questions about what exactly they will do, how it will work, but they say it's meant to cut government spending. And it's significant that Elon Musk, the world's richest man who has a lot of stakes in what the government does, is traveling with Trump today to Washington. There you see again Trump just deplaned at Joint Base Andrews, his first time at JBA since leaving the office of the presidency in January of 2021. Hugely important day in Washington. And while Trump did not extend that invitation to Biden back in 2020 after Biden was elected president, Biden extending that invitation to Trump to symbolically carry on that peaceful transfer of power, which this United States is known for, Errol.
Libby Cathy giving us her insight after following the Trump campaign through so many states and now covering the transition as Donald Trump returns to Washington, elevated by a majority of.
Few things we don't get on what talk about when I need to talk about in this new page. For real. In this new era, we don't need to hear. Sorry about that, my people. Sorry about that. Need to remove this. We don't need to hear what go on the last 4 years. We gotta try to change the thing. Because even when we push this most propaganda, this is what pushed back Trump in the White House. You understand? We can't forget that fact. Because people voted for Biden because they feel like them that come change, be a grown man in the house, adult. But the policies them a Biden come with, man, people kitchen table suffer. And for sure, no say one of the media, this is what I talk about. Biden to talk to Trump about Ukraine, that's important, most important than American people, brother. We need to get it right. You understand me? I say, most important thing is the American people. You understand me? We have to turn the page and know so the American people, them have money. You understand me? Whole heap of thing. You see me? I don't know I talk about Melania Trump now. Why should I want meet? Why should I want mix up when you disrespect her the most way? And she classy. She very classy. You can't hide the fuck about that. Very, very classy. You understand me? So why she go on meet up with people, smile at people, fake, because she not used to the politics world. None of them not used to the politics world. Remember, politics was all about Bush, the Clintons. Them there was like your cousin could not go to school and name Bush and just come get run presidency, Trump change up that. You understand me I say? That all of them think they change up. You know why them think they change up? Once Trump do good, his family legacy is cement. Every Trump can become third president. We don't see what go on. Once Trump do good, it's like every Trump can it become a Bush now. Trump become a Bush. Because America don't want to see Bush right now. You understand me? So once Trump do good, these 4 years of people wake up and see, even them kids the way you see arguing at school, for them time I'll come for vote. They might just do them first voting 2028. When them see a nice economy, when them graduate from school, them get good jobs. Them can buy a house. Them go see say it's a pure lie the media tell. So who them gonna vote? Cause everybody eyes open now. Don't play with the Gen Z them. Them is not to be played with. But me like that little thing still. Me like this. When I like you, me like this. This is a good look. This is a good look. Start off the year with a good look. When if the year don't even start yet. But we're looking good. I said something earlier, because we want to be a channel where we just reason, we only can get better, as we say. 4 years ago, them said Trump never do this. I mean, this is democracy. And 4 years ago is really a different time. Nobody not go down 4 years ago. So me not even go down 4 years ago. There's no Biden get 81 million vote. Biden. The most vote in any presidential election. The most, not even Obama. There's no say Biden get 81 million vote. That's it. That's all you need to know, that Biden get 81 million vote 4 years ago. That's all we need to know about that. You understand me? That's all we need to know. We're not gonna go down 4 years ago. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. You know I'm gonna so. You understand me? I say? Yeah. Biden received more votes than even Obama. And I believe say every black man we can vote for Obama. I believe that every black man we can vote for Obama. Biden received was the most popular president. So him not meeting Biden last year in him feelings, just human, but him never really push out the democracy, if you want me to say that for real. You understand me? I say him never do no meeting. Him write Biden a letter do. Talk about that if you're gonna be a media. You see me talk about the letter where him write Biden. Talk to Biden and tell Biden to read it. Him never went name disrespect him. I don't Biden come say anything. I think Biden talk, and one of the things them say, one of the interview say him read the letter, say him look at it. You understand me? I say? So in the presidential, I left him a letter. I guarantee enough people supposed to read that. You see me? And Biden look like him don't even remember him last 4-digit time social. And I ask you, Biden remember him last 4-digit time social. You see me? And them things never go on in our society, man. DC in the morning at Trump. November what? Today I was November 14th or 13th, one of them there. We look for November 13th. Wednesday, November 13th. Trump arrive in DC. So another joke thing I go on. You understand me I say? I'll go back on some view. Yeah. You understand? Some more viewings again. Yeah. Yeah. Morning to my subscribers, them. You up yourself, do what? Always, you know. Please like and share my content. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. Big boss. Boss. Hey, they don't know what about do, you know. Make sure the boss land over the place they where him can look upon them Air Force One day. Yeah, that play with them, you know. Be a pretty Air Force One. with all with all respect, my people, please like and share the video. Yeah, broadcast through USA Today, and it's a live video. So we're gonna see if him speak every little move we make until we touch upon something else. You understand me? We at work. You understand me? I say. So bear with me. We just want to listen to the video and we want to see the action because it's a lovely view. It's a pretty view, America. You understand me? I say. So I'm go see what I go on. No a human error, you know. Machine and record, you know. I have little or something, you know. Now when they stream President Trump in a DC. And that's what I say. What they do right now. You see me? Make sure cut me. Sorry about that, people. When streaming license come like when I pay for with streaming license, you understand me I say? I could work with what I go on with writer so. Sorry about that with people, you know. Still have a volume sound, but I want to go on right now, you know. See if I find a better channel theme right now. I watch the plug this then. I would have far behind. Look like we seem like we're far behind. That's it. Fox, I know if you stream like a Fox right now, you know. I stream, I go on, I the video, hear it.
Well, Mr. President-elect,
Going on right, so
as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that. You're welcome. Thank you all.
Oh, here we okay. Isaiah, I got you now.
I search for a better view.
And it won't be live, it will be taped. We are going to sit on this for just a minute here as we watch the motorcade go by. I'm going to leave up the audio for you. You can see some of his supporters taking photos, running to the street corner to see this all happening and unfolding live here in Washington, D.C., outside the White House. Let's sit on this for just a minute here. All right, it does look like that shot is freezing, but as we can see, it's starting to move a little bit now, and we do see the motorcade heading into the White House there. Again, any updates, we will bring them to you. Let's stay with our election headlines right now, though, as President Biden is trying a last round of diplomacy for the Middle East before leaving the Oval Office. Fox News correspondent Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv. We are going to pivot over there. And again, if anything else pops up, we will bring it to you here.
Thank you all.
Mr. President, what do you hope to accomplish today, Mr. President? President-elect Trump, do you agree with Pete Hegseth? Do you think women should not serve in combat roles? What's top of your list the next time you're in this office, Mr. President-elect? How does it feel to be back?
Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Thank you to Trey Yingst. We actually did hear from Israeli government spokesperson David Mencer on all things Middle East a little bit this morning. I am going to play those remarks out for.
As soon as we go off. What's that? Amy, I have a little something. First these person. She currently. Mic checks or anything like that for whatever reason?
Yeah, keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Move them all out.
I will. Nope. I don't think. Sarah said that this is all. They wanted me as soon as I got up.
Hold on, man. Too much, man. Men's shop next to your house closing up. You're gonna walk this. There's a men's shop.
We have to wait for the press conference. In the meantime, we can show the world who are still on some media for you. And if you come down here, through some reviews, some media, this system, but you have to sense until the site shape this thing, or share this. Share this. This, something. gonna share this. Let's see what I want. All right, we'll come back right there. So we'll see what I want right there. So.
A series of pleasantries and talking about a smooth transition. I have to tell you, Diane, it reminds me very much of what happened almost exactly 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago this week when Donald Trump came to Washington and went to the White House for the very first time 2 days after he beat Hillary Clinton, and he was welcomed in by Barack Obama. And you had very similar expressions of goodwill from both men. It was a little bit longer back then, the remarks. Donald Trump at that point, I asked one question. I was in the Oval Office for that. You know, are you going to seek his counsel? Because he had suggested in his opening remarks that he was going to continue to want to get Barack Obama's counsel as he put together his administration and started his administration. And he said, yes, he would. And they both said like all the right things. And it was within a matter of days when you were right back to where it was. And shortly after Trump actually became president the first time, he made accusations that Barack Obama had wiretapped his phones, entirely unfounded accusations. So look, it's very nice to see what we saw today. We have seen something very much like it 8 years ago. We will see this time, you know, if it follows a similar trajectory, or, you know, if we're in for something entirely new. We'll have to see. But that was after that campaign, that has to be at least at this moment a reassuring moment to millions of Americans.
And I want to bring in our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, as well, because Mary, on the one hand, traditional, on the other hand, so different, even though one of the players here is the same from what we saw 8 years ago. So what do you make of how different this meeting will be compared to the last time we saw it between Trump and Obama, given Trump never ran against Obama? This campaign actually started with Donald Trump and Joe Biden competing against each other for the presidency, and we all know how it ended.
Yeah, the tone already is starkly different. I have to tell you, I was actually in the Oval Office as the pool reporter just now for this handshake and those brief remarks. And it really is such a stark contrast. I mean, I just don't think you can stress it enough. These are two leaders who certainly don't get along on pretty much anything. But here they are coming together, finding common ground on the need for this smooth transition, something, as we've been noting, Donald Trump did not participate in the last go round. But to hear him there say, look, politics is tough. It can be a difficult business, but that they are both looking forward to a smooth transition. And President Biden felt really adamant that this was important, for the symbolism of it, important for the nation to see these images, to see, this is democracy at work. That is something you have heard Joe Biden say in recent days, that it is important for him to reiterate his commitment to a transition and for Donald Trump to reiterate that as well. But certainly, a stark contrast to the tone that we have heard. I mean, when you consider the fact that the last extensive FaceTime the two of them had was on that debate stage, that debate, of course, that ultimately led Joe Biden to drop out of the race. Now, of course, the president is going to likely use this meeting as an opportunity to also impress upon the incoming president some of his key issues, especially Ukraine. We expect to be an issue that Joe Biden brings up. He feels very strongly, not only for his legacy, but also for global stability and security, that the U.S. keep up the fight for Ukraine against Russia's brutal invasion. So that's at least one issue that we know they're going to hit on. But just the body language between the two of them, just remarkable to see them there, shaking hands after this very bitter and hard-fought race.
And I want to bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott, too, because, Rachel, despite those conversations, how much influence can President Biden have on President-elect Trump, given the way this election panned out, not only for the presidency, but for the Senate and what it looks like will happen with the House as well?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, this is a picture and image that we did not see 4 years ago when President Biden won the White House. There was no then President Trump greeting President Biden. This decades-long tradition just did not happen. And so, as Mary stated, this is a picture of democracy and how it works. And I think President Biden, by extending this invite, obviously it is meant to send a signal to the American people that win or lose, there has to be a transition of power. Now, as for President-elect Donald Trump, he is going to be emboldened. He's is going to be strengthened by a strong and solid Senate majority here over in Congress, and maybe possibly even likely a razor-thin majority over in the House as well. He was meeting with House Republicans over on near Capitol Hill earlier this morning. Speaker Johnson, I'm told, started that meeting by saying that they were all sort of strengthened by the coattails of Donald Trump and him being at the top of the ticket. And so that is going to be paramount, because that means that by having both chambers of Congress, we have seen it in previous administrations, even during President Biden's very first year in office, that is your opportunity to try and push through your agenda. And Republicans here on Capitol Hill, they are making it clear that they are behind the president-elect.
And I want to bring in our executive editorial producer, John Santucci, too, for a little bit of color. Because, John, what are you hearing from Trump's inner circle about this meeting? Because I do see his team is fundraising off of it now.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting, though, is that they're fundraising off of it, but at the same time, as I was sitting here, the Harris campaign sent out a fundraising email to, basically pay down some of their campaign debts. So everybody's fundraising at this. I mean, listen, it's not too surprising. I mean, Donald Trump's team wants to keep the hype going. And listen, they still have a lot of things they need to do if you think about it. One of the things that I was talking with colleagues of ours this morning, Diane, is that, look, in addition to a transition, they're also starting to plan an inauguration. That also brings in big donors, big money, big events. And a lot of that we saw 4 years ago was not the same, given we were in the middle of a pandemic and President Joe Biden didn't really do much. Donald Trump, in his first win, had a huge inauguration. I think it's going to be a little smaller, but nevertheless something interesting. Look, I think what today is showing a little bit is discipline, Donald Trump. What I think is actually interesting, if we could just zoom out for a second, Donald Trump won every battleground state, and we haven't heard from Donald Trump. This is the first time we saw Donald Trump since, Wednesday morning, technically, if we want to get into the clock. I think I was half dead by that point, but like 4 in the morning when he came out, 2, 4, something like that. I don't remember. We haven't had much sleep. But the fact that this is the first time we see him and he says absolutely nothing, stays right on message, disciplined. I mean, you got to give credit. They somehow can keep it together. He's with right now a very small contingent of staff that are joining him for this tour. Some of them know their way around the building, like Dan Scavino and Stephen Miller, who were with him 4 years ago when he was in the White House. But for Susie Wiles, this is the first time that she's back at the White House since serving at the Reagan administration. She was a scheduler back then. Now she comes back as incoming White House chief of staff, the first female to hold that position. So Donald Trump already making waves.
And I want to bring that point to John Carl, because John Trump knows his way around the White House clearly, but a lot of his new administration will not. And we are getting a long list now. He's going through this pretty quickly to assemble who's going to be joining him there at the White House. What do you make of his pick so far?
Well, it's been a little bit all over the map. First of all, the most striking thing is how quickly he is filling these posts. It's quite a process that he has underway. Howard Lutnick, the head of Cantor Fitzgerald financial firm, has been making presentations to Donald Trump for all of the top cabinet picks, and it's something that mirrors very much, if you ever watched the show The Apprentice, how it's worked. He presents Donald Trump with a series of screens. On a series of screens, he puts the talking points for what makes this person a good candidate for the job. Then there's another video screen that has a montage of television appearances, interviews on cable TV and the like. And then there's just one that just has a big photo of the person as Trump tries to visualize whether he could see that person in his cabinet. Do they come, as Trump often says, from central casting? But if you look during for the initial posting, some of them seemed entirely mainstream, the kind of picks that you could see in really any Republican administration. Susie Wiles, obviously as the chief of staff, somebody with some pretty deep experience in Republican politics. Michael Waltz, who is the national security advisor, a former special operations veteran and member of Congress, who's pretty widely respected. The nomination hasn't been formally made, but we hear Marco Rubio is the choice to be Secretary of State. You could have imagined Marco Rubio in the cabinet of a Jeb Bush if he had been elected president. But just the most recent appointment, we had Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary, and it seems that his primary the primary reason he was chosen is because Donald Trump likes what he's had to say on Fox News. He's the weekend host of Fox and Friends, the morning show on the weekend. He is a combat veteran, 20 years in the military, but not somebody that was on anybody's list of a potential defense secretary, somebody with no government experience outside of his, experience as a member of the military. So, the picks are kind of all over the map. I think the one thing that unites all of them is these are people who have demonstrated their loyalty to Donald Trump. You have Kristi Noem named as the incoming or the nominee to be the Secretary of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem was the governor of South Dakota, gave Trump a gift once. It's a model of Mount Rushmore, which of course is in South Dakota. And it's the model of Mount Rushmore with the 4 faces and a 5th face added of Donald Trump. And that model is something that Trump has at his office at Mar-a-Lago on display. So again, people that have proved their loyalty to Donald Trump are at the front of the line right now for all of these positions, both the mainstream picks and some of those that are a little bit outside of the mainstream.
And I want to go back to Selena Wang on someone who is not at the White House today. Melania Trump, the soon-to-be First Lady again, decided not to go along for this trip and have a meeting with First Lady Jill Biden, which the invitation was extended to her. But Selena, you say Jill Biden did write a note for Melania Trump. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, so we're learning from the White House that First Lady Jill Biden had joined President Biden in greeting Donald Trump. And Jill Biden handed a letter to Donald Trump that is intended to be for Melania Trump. And in this letter, she wrote about helping and doing everything she can to help Melania Trump with the transition. Now, as you mentioned, we've reported that Jill Biden extended an invitation to Melania Trump, but that Melania Trump declined that invitation. It will be interesting to see how Melania Trump approaches her role as First Lady. Back in Donald Trump's first term, she often went against tradition. But this is something that Melania Trump has done before. Back in 2016, Michelle Obama had hosted Melania Trump at the White House. But of course, this time around, it is very, very different. As you've been talking about, Donald Trump knows this role. He knows his way around the White House. Melania Trump knows what her role entails as well. But Donald Trump, of course, is coming into this role now emboldened. He's got the American people's mandate. He's got the support in Congress, and we are seeing him rapidly install all of these loyalists around him. It is clear that Donald Trump is prioritizing loyalty above all, especially over experience. Now, some of his picks, including Marco Rubio, which reportedly he is intending to name as the Secretary of State, as well as his national security advisor, that gives some comfort to some Democrats and those who want to see more establishment folks. But then you see other people like Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense that are raising some alarm bells.
All right, John Carl, John Santucci, Selena Wang, Mary Bruce, thank you all. And we will have continuing updates right here on ABC News Live throughout the day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Diana Macedo. We have more news for you right after the break.
You find now we upon where I go. Listen them news anchor where all of them supposed to get fire, me feels all of them supposed to get fire for a better America until them start talk some truth. And as America people have sense. You hear that? Until them start talk some truth. People have sense. No, still a wait pan big meat with all of them, man. Just I show you some rebroadcasting and thing. You see me? The writers know. Latest. ABC news them a fool, man. Whole heap of people that's forget fire. Whole heap of people. I think them come back again. And come back. Like, listen them still.
Doge for short. This meme coin, which Musk has promoted, is one of the biggest winners in the post-election rally, gaining more than 150% since Election Day. That's compared to Bitcoin's 30% rise. And Starbucks, making it easier to get your pumpkin spice latte delivered right to your door. Starbucks will now let customers order a delivery right through its own app, eliminating the need to use a third-party app. The new feature goes into effect this week. It is powered by the delivery app DoorDash. I guess we didn't know we needed it until it happened.
So many things are like that, right?
Yeah.
Alexis, thank you.
Sure.
And if you have any finance questions for Alexis, just leave a message on our Instagram feed at ABC News Live. She might answer your question right here on Thursday. Coming up, the Colorado man literally paying it forward, why he's leaving cash around the state for strangers to find.
Let's do it. My name is Luke Bryan, and with the help of today's biggest stars, we're going to explore everything country.
Still tune into the live, you know, we don't want nothing miss you, you know. Yeah, we don't want nothing miss you, you know. So we'll just tune into the live. See what go on over there. Whole comment section up here. Congratulate Trump, congratulate Trump, congratulate Trump. All different country, all different nation. All like congratulations, Trump. MAGA. Daddy's home. See it there? Comment section full. Man go, man get cross the line, the man get cross the line. No matter how much fight them fight him, much charge them put upon him, assassination attempt. Man get cross the line and they back in at the White House, the people them put him back in there. Amazing. They have some good policy though. You hear that? Have some good policy. Nah, lie. Them things they make him win. People now want to see them things there. You hear that? They have 3 sons in America, you know. They have 3 daughters. Yeah, man. And a Bible order. Nah, if we go no further. You see me? That Bible order. You see me? Over there, I wait upon the viewing right here, so we're not trying to forget. Not try to forget too much loss from it. All right, here, so we're really there. You see me? I panacea with facts, everything else a liar. Right, so we're really there. You see me? There's a show on some little rebroadcast from earlier and them think they put some time them edge teeth. Them a 9. Just remember, we just don't want on a beautiful thing in a disaster. I watch out some of them ABC and them something. Yeah, it's crazy. It not sound good. You see me? All after the man win the election, them rhetorical things, them just still bring back some memories and still go back in a people, and this is why them a feel. This is why them a feel. You can't tell them so them not feel. You can't tell them no I blame we people before them check themselves or looking at the mirror and say them, and this is why we are feeling too much propaganda. Too much propaganda on the push, man. I tell you. You see me? Since we wait upon the little thing, then we go listen. Well, we still wait upon the big meat in there, see it? See it there? That's all them a show you the whole of DC. Think it now until about 12:30, but we're there. I will catch the view right. You understand me? I say? I'll go over right or so no, what's your something? Go over Benny Johnson thing. Oh, when I'm Benny Johnson, so you can go look wild. Our film stream has started in 1 minute, so don't even want the boring thing like the same thing, right? So we are look upon. We are go over Benny Johnson. The streamer that will open up my eye. Carter family and thing, you know. You come put streamers open up my eye, but I stop watch the fake news them. So I go over there in a second, you know. Film just. All right, I'm giving a little bit of Benny. Little bit of Benny. Little bit of Benny. You can search for him in your own YouTube channel and hear him full thing still. Just a stream little bit of Benny. Man will wake me up, you know.
It's happening! Daddy's home! Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. landed moments ago, and we are ready to return! And it's going to be amazing! In the words of Elon Musk, who is now a newly appointed federal official, along with Vivek Ramaswamy. Pete Hegseth is your Secretary of Defense. Soon to be FBI Director Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. That's what we're hearing. Holy moly. Today we're going to cover all of it live. You are in the right place. We have all the cameras and all of the feeds ready to cover President Trump, who is speaking very, very soon to the House of Representatives and will be speaking and meeting very soon with Joe Biden himself at the White House as Joe Biden surrenders the keys to the federal government and says, here you go, MAGA, we lost. Full trifecta control of the federal government, ladies and gentlemen. MAGA owns it all. We've been telling you on this program for a very lonely 4 years. Not lonely between you and me, friend. But we've been telling you that we are the majority. We've been declaring with one voice that we are the majority in this country. And now we have proved it. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. We take our birthright in Washington, D.C. The hunters will become the hunted. Trump makes triumphant return to Washington and Capitol Hill. White House visits. We will have most likely the results of the Senate vote for leadership. Multiple senators breaking for Rick Scott at the very last moment, including Ted Cruz and Marsha Blackburn this morning. We'll see what happens and we'll cover it all live today. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy named heads of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, officially last night. Mark Paoletta, who may be the next attorney general, we'll see, we'll ask him about it. Monica Crowley, who worked in President Trump's first administration and will most likely be working in the second, will both be joining the program. Here, your grand central station for everything happening with this glorious transition. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to bring you President Trump live very, very soon. He's going to be speaking to the House Republican conference, and hopefully he's going to be slamming Senate Democrats, I call them Senate Democrats, John Thune and John Cornyn, and we'll be heading over to the Senate to smack them around as well. We'll see. Despicable Mitch McConnell, ladies and gentlemen, Despicable Mitch McConnell has not, okay, got it. Has not, we're live. We're going to be rolling live. We have our entire excellent production crew here. We're not going to miss a single moment on this channel. Despicable Mitch McConnell, I guess, has moved forward with his vote to bring forward a new Senate leader to maintain permanent control of the Senate for Mitch. We don't like Mitch. We want Mitch to resign in disgrace. We want him to leave the Republican Party and to join Liz Cheney on Epstein Island, where they belong. So, ladies and gentlemen, we await those returns as we await that and the great return, ladies and gentlemen, of Donald Trump to Washington, D.C. Consider your own personal finances right now as stock markets explode, as the crypto markets launch like a SpaceX rocket. Now is certainly the time for you to consider American financing. American financing is the number one way to consolidate your debt, reduce your monthly expenses, make sure that all that credit card debt that racked up over the horrific Biden depression that we all just lived through goes away and goes away very, very quickly. American financing can help get it done, and they close in as fast as 10 days. Call American Financing today. American Financing today. 888-528-1219. That's 888-528-1219. AmericanFinancing.net/Benny. NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Let's go, baby. Here we go. Donald Trump. Producer telling me Donald Trump speaking very briefly to the House Republican caucus. Elon Musk apparently in tow. Let's rock and roll. Show the people what's up.
In the hand of the new UN ambassador, Elise Stefanik, as well, and he's about to give a speech. Let's just listen in for a moment.
Here we go. We got Donald Trump. Every time we play the Lee Greenwood song, the speed gets taken down. Klein, it's an automatic mute whenever you hear that song. Sorry, guys, it's not my rule. Let us play the song. All right, here we go. President Trump.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very nice gathering, isn't it? Nice. It's nice to win. It's always nice to win. A lot of good friends in this room. So you know we had like historic kind of numbers, especially for the president, but we won't get into that. But the House did very well, and I think we're responsible for 31, helping you with 31, meaning we could have lost by quite a bit, and we ended up, I guess you'll be 5 up. Are you looking at 5 or 4? 5 or 4, right? Doesn't matter. We get used to 1 for a little while. When you can get used to 1, you can get used to anything. So I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. We worked with a lot of you to get you in, and you helped me, and you helped me too. And my numbers were, so they say, the 129 years, the most important election in 129 years. That's pretty good. I said, who is the 129 years? What was that, Doc Ronnie? Who's 129 years ago? I never looked because it started at being 100. But it's a great compliment. We won the majority by 7.1 million. We won, which is great because Republicans aren't supposed to be winning the majority, Marjorie. You know that, right? And we won that, and we won it every way, all 7 swing states by a lot. And then Michigan was great, couldn't be better. I'll tell you, Michigan was great, and we had a couple of people. Almost New Jersey is right, just a few points. it's got them very worried because they say, well, next time if we go up even a fraction of what we went up, you're going to win New York, you're going to win New Jersey, you're going to win places that weren't winnable. California, too. I think without one speech, without campaigning at all in California, I think we were up, we lost by 9 points. I mean, 9 points in California, and it's very doable. It would be really doable if they changed the election process. If they,
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain to you, because my producer just checked in with me, what's going on here. This is not some type of this is not some type of horrible earthquake or event that occurred during Trump's speech. There, in Washington, D.C., there are something called press gaggles, press bubbles, where the press get ushered in order to capture a moment, like President Trump taking the stage here, and then they get ushered out so that everyone can have an honest conversation with each other. Now, we're communicating via text with people actually in that meeting right now, but that's the most that they'll allow cameras to capture and cover. So it's not a broken feed. It's not some horrible natural disaster. That's what they allowed. That's what the handlers allowed the press to show. Okay, so that's what actually happened. That's what we're going to go through today as we monitor President Trump's triumphant return to Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock and roll. We have President Trump landing on the tarmac today. President Trump obviously is set for a series of meetings. We're going to be monitoring very, very closely the Senate leadership vote. President Trump landing on the tarmac today. This is pretty awesome. This is Trump Force One landing next to a government plane that I don't think is Air Force One, but still pretty epic. You have a government plane there that says United States of America. You have Trump Force One. Here's Trump getting off his plane today, the triumphant return to Washington, D.C. We got that, Klein? Go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is President Trump's grand return. The reason why we play that is because we were there for President Trump's, exit. I was living in Washington, D.C. at the time. We actually made a viral video. Danny, get me that viral video that we made that continues to be posted again and again and again. I want to show you what we did on the day of President Trump leaving Washington, D.C. last time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looked like when President Trump left for the last time in Washington, D.C. I want to show you what having the spirit of a lion actually is. Here we go. This is President Trump's last time at the White House. Let's listen. President Trump saying it's been an honor of a lifetime. As the jet engines roar on Marine One, this was President Trump. This is President Trump leaving the White House. President Trump will be returning to the White House today in an act of absolute alpha defiance against every conceivable corrupt system. Evil and vengeance is the Lord's. Today is going to be an epic day. So that's going back into the history books. Let's go back just slightly farther just to show you what we're about to witness. This was what happened when Trump met with Obama in the Oval Office. Trump's done this before, taken power from a man who wished to imprison him, humiliate and destroy him, a man who was actively plotting sabotage for his administration. A reminder, Barack Obama was briefed that Hillary Clinton was going to launch Russiagate, did nothing to stop it, and did everything possible to make sure that it all happened. Barack Obama should be thoroughly investigated for his part in Russiagate. Kash Patel, the rumors are that Kash Patel will be in charge of a federal agency, possibly the FBI. Director of National Intelligence will be Tulsi Gabbard, and Pete Hegseth is confirmed as the Department of Defense Secretary. John Ratcliffe for CIA Director. John Ratcliffe, of course, excellent and one of the most loyal, arguably the most loyal when it comes to the intelligence community serving President Trump in term one. So John Ratcliffe, well-deserved CIA Director. Those are some of the updates as of right now. Here's what happened and what we are about to see. And again, we have our entire full production staff on. We will not miss a single thing today. We will be sending full breaking clip. This is going to be your Grand Central station for every breaking news clip that happens today as Donald Trump rolls through D.C. like a conquering hero, because he actually is, ladies and gentlemen. Trump defeating the evil systems that wish to imprison and kill him. And he's done it all over again. Here's the first time he did it. Here's Trump's meeting with Obama.
Well, I just had the opportunity to have an excellent conversation with President-elect Trump. It was wide-ranging. We talked about some of the organizational issues in setting up a White House. We talked about foreign policy. We talked about domestic policy. And as I said last night, my number one priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful. And I have been very encouraged by the, I think, interest in President-elect Trump's wanting to work with my team around many of the issues that this great country faces. And I believe that it is important for all of us, regardless of party and regardless of political preferences, to now come together, work together to deal with the many challenges that we face. And in the meantime, Michelle has had a chance to greet the incoming First Lady, and we had an excellent conversation with her as well. And we want to make sure that they feel welcome as they prepare to make this transition. And most of all, I want to emphasize to you, Mr. President-elect, that we now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds. Please, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, President Obama. This was a meeting that was going to last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and we were just going to get to know each other. We had never met each other. I have great respect. The meeting lasted for almost an hour and a half, and it could have, as far as I'm concerned, it could have gone on for a lot longer. We really, we discussed a lot of different situations, some wonderful and some difficulties. I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future, including counsel. He explained some of the difficulties, some of the high-flying assets, and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you, sir.
I got to tell you that clips that didn't age well. I think that Donald Trump has proven that he is the kind of person who can reach across the aisle and build coalitions. Obviously, one of his appointments that it's about to go down, Tulsi Gabbard, was a Democrat just a few years ago. Now, obviously, somebody who has left the Democrat Party, officially joined the Republican Party, and will potentially have one of the most powerful positions in all of the federal government. We'll get to that in just a moment. We have breaking news right now, ladies and gentlemen. Jill Biden and Joe Biden at the White House doing a what seems like a joint press conference with the two of them. We have some clips out of this. So you see Joe and Jill on stage. They're just asked what's going to happen in the meeting today.
Some are going to graduate. Joe and I are also preparing for what's coming next.
Joe crosses himself. Okay.
It has been the
All right. So Jill making a tacit jab, I think, at how badly they lost, although it seems like they're handling it in good humor.
A signal.
It does make me a little nervous. And then, Klein, do we have a longer clip of that? Okay, yeah, all right. We'll play a little bit of a longer clip of that because at the very end of the clip, Jill Biden gets asked what they can expect inside of this meeting today, and she goes into it. They're going to talk about Ukraine, no surprise there. But also, two quick, very important things. You will not see Jill Biden with Melania Trump today. Boys, do we have an article about that? Or if not, let's just surface that. I want to cover this really briefly because we're going to play you a clip of Jill Biden, give it an update here. Jill Biden, essentially the night nurse of the White House. She's running the place. Joe Biden not running jack. This has been the case for a very long time. Remember Jill Biden after Joe Biden's debate says, you answered every question. You answered all the questions, Joe. So it does seem like Jill, who's in charge, will not be getting her meeting with her counterpart, Melania Trump. Here we go. Melania Trump statement today. This is now official. We covered this in multiple news reports yesterday. Official statement from the office of the First Lady. Mrs. Trump will not be attending today's meeting at the White House. Her husband's return to the Oval Office commences the transition process, is encouraging. She wishes him great success. In this instance, several unnamed sources of media continue to provide false, misleading, and inaccurate information to be discerning about your sources of news. Let me tell you what's been out there that I don't see any, quite frankly, any problem with. Melania Trump is doing whatever, are you a parent? I'm a parent. You a mother? You have a mother, right? Odds are you have a mom. Let me tell you what, if you have a good mom, then she's not going to tink tea glasses with somebody who tried to lock up her children. Somebody who sent federal agents to go raid her son's room, which is what Jill Biden did. Jill Biden was part of a regime that tried to murder Melania Trump's husband. And there are many different ways to assassinate somebody. You could assassinate them politically. You could assassinate them through impeachment. You could assassinate them through lawfare. They tried to lock her husband up. They tried to make Melania Trump a widow, this witch. Jill Biden, witch, tried to make Melania Trump a widow. Do you understand? Either by locking President Trump in jail forever, making him die in prison, right? Or by looking the other way as they criminally reduce Donald Trump's security forces and a Biden donor, we never call him that. We do on this program because we actually have guts, balls on this program. A Biden donor, his name is Matthew Crooks. Funny how quickly that disappeared. Nobody knows anything about him. Nobody knows who he's talking about. We're going to find out. Anyway, Matthew Crooks makes Trump eat a bullet. Donald Trump caught a bullet because, in part, of people like Jill Biden. So I'm okay with this move. Melania Trump there is nothing that says Melania Trump must somehow make friends with the people that wanted to destroy her life and sent federal agents to raid her boudoir. No. Good on you, Melania, right? Good on you. Danny, you got me some tweets yesterday of like Melania versus Jill Biden side by side. So let's get some of those. We're going to bring back class to the White House. We're going to bring back, ladies and gentlemen, the America greatness that we saw in the first President Trump administration. Except for this President Trump administration has just been killing it with appointments. Man, it's so awesome. It's been hard to actually keep track of them. Do you know that Dan Bongino is being seriously considered for Secret Service Director? We confirmed that yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, with let's just say somebody who would know. So this is happening. It's all happening. Dan Bongino might be Secret Service Director. Speaking of Trump assassinations. Jill Biden. This is a 3-minute clip, guys. I just want the part where they talk about. What's going to happen. So please cut the fat on that. I don't want to go to 3 minutes to Jill muling. So get me like the actual pertinent part of that, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here is what. Hell, these are great. Can you load this? The side by sides. Get them up, Klein. Let's go. This is what will return to the White House. Melania Trump is under no obligation to side with or make peace with somebody who we call Joe Biden a witch. Like I don't know what the hell these stockings are. What the hell is this? What is she wearing? What is that? I'm not a fashion guy. I wear the same like cheap t-shirt every single day. I have like 20 of them. I just wear the same like cheap. They're like $2. So so I don't know what the hell this is. Any women in the audience and women in the chat, can you shout out like what exactly is this look? Like what are you going for here? Right? Like what's the goal of this? Right? Is it like nighttime in Bangkok? What exactly are you? What are you trying to tell people? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what's returning. That's what's going out. This is what's returning. Also returning might be Alina Habba. We haven't even covered that. Alina Habba may be press secretary. The chat rejoices. Ladies and gentlemen, return. Bring us back the glory of the olden times and the good times. Here we go. Scoop, Alina Habba emerges as front runner for Trump press secretary. Would you look at that? Ooh, boys. Would you look at that? We out ya. One more. Do you have this one loaded, Klein? If not, grab me that. And let me know, production chat, if we have before we move off the Jill Biden block here and the breaking news. We begin with the more breaking news. Let me know when that Jill Biden clip's been trimmed. Nobody needs to hear 3 minutes of Jill Biden talking like ever. All right. Okay, here we go. This is look at Jill Biden clomping around like a Clydesdale. What the hell? We always say that she's the Bed Bath & Beyond of White House first ladies because it looks like she goes shopping at Bed Bath & Beyond and wears shower curtains. Look at Melania Trump. Freaking supermodel is what she is. Should we start should we start the process of like asking for Republican super donors and billionaires who've become who some of them have reached out and are quite big time fans of what we're doing here. It's very interesting. This is part of the reason why we're going to Mar-a-Lago this week, actually. We will be bringing you lots of reports from Mar-a-Lago. Hopefully we'll be able to see Melania Trump and we'll just flip the phone around, go live, and we'll bring you Melania Trump. It'll be very fun. Anyway, the point is we should buy Vogue, right? Like it's Conte Nast magazine. We should buy Vogue and then put Melania Trump on the cover every single month. Just buy Vogue. Melania Trump deserves to be on the cover of every single fashion magazine that sits in your supermarket aisle. You feel me? Yeah. You feel me, chat? Like, you want to talk about real reparations? These are reparations, okay? The reparations of putting Melania Trump, put up the pyramids photo again. Putting up this woman is our first lady, and she belongs on the cover of they need restitution. Melania Trump deserves reparations from the fashion industry. Our single most fashionable and elegant first lady to ever live. Sorry, Jackie. And she needs her magazine covers. Okay, we're gonna start advocating for that on the program. We got a lot of women in the audience, got a lot of based chicks in the audience. We're gonna get you yours. This is the moment. This is the moment of the based MAGA chick energy. Young MAGA girls look up to Melania Trump, and it's time that industry like bows down and respects it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got a big update here about what Donald Trump is going to be talking about with Joe Biden. This one from Fox News. The meeting will effectively talk about Ukraine, and Fox News covering where the First Lady is going to be during the actual meeting with the presidents. Okay, here we go. Clip one.
Traditional meeting between the incoming and outgoing presidents when President-elect Trump get back here to the White House and meet with President Biden in the Oval Office later today. You know, I got to tell you, you haven't seen a media footprint at the White House here really like this since President Trump left office back in 2021. This is going to be his first time back at the White House since then. Trump never extended Biden that invite in 2020. The White House refuses to say what Biden wants to discuss, but we have gotten some hints from Biden's national security advisor, Jake.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So they're going to talk about Ukraine. Well, this is of no surprise to anybody. What will happen in the First Lady wing of the White House? What is considered the East Wing of the White House, right? Where the First Lady lives and resides. Here we go.
First Lady Jill Biden there. It is now confirmed that she will not have a meeting today, though she reached out to Melania Trump for the invite. Incoming First Lady Melania Trump will not be meeting. She tweeted, or her office tweeted this morning, Mrs. Trump will not be attending today's meeting at the White House. Her husband's return to the Oval Office to commence the transition process is encouraging, and she wishes him great success. In this instance, several unnamed sources in the media continue to provide false, misleading, and inaccurate information. Be discerning with your source of news. There has been some reporting out there, notably from the New York Post, that the reasoning behind Melania Trump not coming to the White House today is because of that summer 2022 raid on Mar-a-Lago, the Trump's residence. In the documents case, the White House maintained at the time that the president was not informed in the decision-making to raid Mar-a-Lago, but Melania Trump, or her office there, speaking for the first time about her decision not to attend today's meeting.
Right.
Still waiting for some scheduling here. The president-elect is not too far away, close to the Capitol. Will make the trip up to the White House. Will make a similar trip on January 20th. But here, meeting with President Biden in just a short while.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have footage of, well, we wish. We have reports of. We really wish we have footage of. We'll pay. We'll pay. Get me footage of White House staffers crying. This, according to Posobiec this morning, White House staffers are literally in tears, refusing to come to work. Biden staffers crying in the halls of the White House. Many have called out sick today, per White House official. Yeah. Call out sick permanently. Save yourself the humiliation of what Elon Musk is about to do to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. There is a quote from a CNN Capitol Hill reporter when he talked to Pelosi. I just asked Pelosi how she's doing, says CNN Capitol Hill reporter Manu Raju. Terrible, she said, as she wept bitterly. So awesome. So amazing. We do have a shot of J.D. Vance inside of the halls of the White House. Boys, we got that. J.D. Vance walking through the halls of the White House. My team is telling me, stay tuned. We got producers in every corner of the internet watching every feed that exists. Look at J.D. Vance and his security team now. Holy moly. Rolling through to what I have to assume would be the Senate leadership vote. Right? So you have to assume this is him walking in to vote. Boys, we don't have a Senate leader yet, but we do want to do shout outs right now to Marsha Blackburn and Ted Cruz. Hey, Alex, you got that list that you surfaced this morning of where the standings are, please? Marsha Blackburn and Ted Cruz, who have flipped their votes for Scott. So good for them. I don't know, an eternal humiliation pox on the House Hawley. Josh Hawley. We like Josh Hawley. I mean, we've seen Josh Hawley do some great work, but he went out and endorsed Cornyn. I just don't think, I don't think you can defend it. I think it's indefensible. Right now, Senator Scott has the most public endorsements, which is awesome, which is this vote is going on right now. So pray. But the most public endorsements and the basest public endorsements, like Mike Lee, Blackburn, Paul, Rubio, Ron Johnson, Ted Cruz. So we'll see what happens. The way this vote goes is the third place if nobody gets to 27, you need 27 votes to have a majority. If nobody gets to 27, then they kick the third place person off, and then those votes, they vote again. The fact that it's taken over an hour, votes started at 9:30, but the fact that it's taken over an hour is probably a good sign, actually. So a reminder that everybody on this list, please scroll down. A reminder that everybody on this list who hasn't endorsed is trying to backstab you, the voter. We'll say it. We'll say it. They're trying to backstab you. They're trying to, in the dark of night, sneak in permanent power for Mitch McConnell until he freaking goes into the tortoise shell of the afterlife. So don't let them get away with it. If they haven't told you they endorse, that means they're trying to backstab you. So again, massive shout outs to Marsha Blackburn and Ted Cruz, who came out this morning saying that they're going to vote for Rick Scott after Mike Lee's candidate forum last night. Mike Lee also endorsing Rick Scott. And Mike Lee is the only person who held a candidate forum last night. He said every senator was in attendance listening to the actual visions. Can you believe this? So Mitch McConnell wasn't even going to have a candidate forum where you could listen to people that were vying for the Senate leadership spot. Mike Lee had to force that issue. We hear from multiple sources. A completely and despicable move by Mitch McConnell trying to backstab Donald Trump on his way out the door. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is on Capitol Hill right now with what we assume to be a massive beat stick, like a baseball bat with barbed wire wrapped around it. Little piggy, let me come in. That's what he's doing to Mitch McConnell's office. I think that's the cold, actually. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a glorious morning. Again, Donald Trump is speaking with House Republicans right now. Peter Doocy spoke with the White House yesterday in a spectacular moment, a preview of things to come. Just to let you know, we just reported to you that the White House staffers are sitting in the corners of their offices in a fetal position, crying and sobbing into their My Pillows and their bite sticks, their bottles of Xanax rattling around in their purses as they wonder about all the decisions they've made and what they hath wrought. One of them is Cringe Jean Pierre. We'll be very, very sad to lose Cringe Jean Pierre. She's been so entertaining. Please get me a nuclear cringe, Klein. We got to use it while we can. We built all these great stingers for cringe, and we're going to have to retire them. Oh, so sad. But we'll use them we'll use them liberally, okay, while cringe is still in office. Here we go, nuclear cringe of the day. Was it awkward when Biden met with Camilla?
And we know that today, a week after the election, President Biden and Vice President Harris had a private lunch. How awkward was that?
I don't even understand. Why would it be awkward?
Because
why would it
the president
be awkward?
got squeezed out for her, and then she kept him at arm's length, and then she lost, and now she's back.
Why would you characterize it as awkward? They have regular lunches. They meet and talk regularly. Why would you call it awkward?
Weirdness about the way that things have unfolded.
Did you see them? Did you see them together yesterday as well when they honored our veterans and were together during the day, making sure that we didn't forget the brave men and women that fought for this country? Did you see them together yesterday? Did you see the show of force together? This is like. I'm not even going to take the premise of the question. What I will say is the president and the vice president had lunch today. They've had lunch many times. They have, they communicate with each other regularly. They had an opportunity to discuss the last 70 days or so of this administration, how important it is to get things done for the American people. And that's their focus. That is genuinely their focus.
I am so, as I'm watching that, I get so angry realizing that Mitch McConnell sided with these people. You know, there's photos of Mitch McConnell hugging Joe Biden during this administration. And Mitch McConnell right now is trying to sneak a vote in. To my knowledge, ALX, has Trump gone to speak to the Senate? Has the Senate invited Trump to go speak to them? We need to agitate for Mitch McConnell's ejection from the Republican Party. Like, the Republicans should vote to kick McConnell out. They should make McConnell one of these like homeless political refugees. Mitch McConnell has not invited President Trump, as far as we know, to speak to the Senate caucus, even though the Senate is having a vote today for leader. Despicable. Truly, truly despicable. Maybe it was Mitch McConnell who Donald Trump was talking about when he left Washington, D.C. for the last time. Well, the last time yet. When he said, "I hope you have a nice life." This is President Trump departing Washington, D.C. 4 years ago, almost to the day, speaking to presumably Mitch McConnell, who had backstabbed him and then who actively united with Nancy Pelosi to impeach Donald Trump, to lock his supporters in prison, to lock you and I in prison, to destroy the agendas. Do we have the photo of Mitch McConnell hugging Joe Biden? I guess it's completely despicable. Maybe this is who Donald Trump was talking about. Here we go. Here's Donald Trump's last parting words in Washington, D.C.
So, have a good life. We will see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He is honest, ain't he? He is honest. We will see you soon. Here's what Mitch McConnell did over the past 4 years. You all are aware that I hate Mitch McConnell, right? This was Mitch McConnell literally hugging Joe Biden, uniting with the man who was trying to kill Donald Trump. Again, I have evidence. I have evidence that there was criminal negligence and malfeasance that led to President Trump eating a bullet on stage, had his life saved by God. But at the very least, it is inarguable that Joe Biden was in favor of multiple assassination attempts against President Trump judicially, and politically. And so, yeah, they were trying, like, Joe Biden was trying to lock Donald Trump up in prison forever. Joe Biden, 2 years ago, it was our team that snagged this and made this go nuclear. Joe Biden said, we're going to use every single tool in and under and around the Constitution to show the American people that Donald Trump will not assume power again. What kind of a statement is that? These sick demagogues, we should never, ever forget it. We should never forget it. We should honestly run Mitch McConnell out on a rail. Mitch McConnell should be ejected from the Republican Party. That should be the next vote. Next vote should be Mitch McConnell has no place in this Republican Party. You can go be an independent, and then we're going to primary your ass. I bet that the guy who drives the trash truck or the guy who does the fries in Kentucky could beat Mitch McConnell. Like the guy who makes the McDonald's French fries in Kentucky, like grab that guy, put him on a ballot, and he'll beat Mitch McConnell. I don't think Mitch McConnell ever will run again. But they're back, baby. Here's a photo of Team Trump leaving President Trump's plane. You'll notice some familiar faces from this program. You'll see that Elon Musk is actually on that plane. Here we go. Yeah. No. Here's a photo. There we go. There we go. That was President Trump leaving the plane. Also epic. You'll see here we have Stephen Miller. You know him from the show. We have Jason Miller. You know him from the show. You have Dan Scavino. You know him from our social feeds. We love Dan. He doesn't do a lot of interviews, quite frankly. And that's all right. And then who is that? Right there is Elon Musk. That's so freaking awesome. Oh, they're so scared right now. In Washington, they're so freaking nervous about this. They're so upset. Elon Musk was announced yesterday as the head of Doge, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, who has since taken himself out of the running for an appointmentship to the Senate because the governor of Ohio will get to appoint a Republican senator until the next election. Here's the official Donald Trump statement on Elon Musk and Vivek being in charge of dismantling the federal bureaucracy, slashing excess regulations, cut wasteful spending and expenditures, restructure federal agencies essential to saving America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system of anyone involved in government waste, and that's a lot of people. Oh, yeah, baby. Donald Trump saying it will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time. Of course, that is the project for the federal government to create the nuclear bomb, which reshaped the world. I think that's what Donald Trump is saying here. He is creating a weapon that will reshape the universe, which is pretty awesome. And I think that they're ready to do it. Republican politicians have dreamed about objectives of the Department of Government Efficiency, lovingly known as DOGE, for a very long time. To drive this kind of drastic change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of the government. We'll partner with the White House Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale reforms approach the government never seen before. I look forward to Elon Musk and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye for efficiency, at the same time making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud that exists throughout our $6.5 trillion government spending. We spend $6.5 trillion a year, yet we have a $35 trillion debt. What the hell is going on? These people need to be in jail. They will work together to liberate the economy, make the government accountable to we the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. It's about 18 months, right? A little more than 18 months. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy, and the perfect gift to the American people on its 250th anniversary. What a glorious time. What a truly, unbelievably glorious time to be alive. This is, ladies and gentlemen, what we posted on X this morning, that just kind of wake up and you're like, this is just a profound moment. Here we go. I don't want to play you Elon Musk's approach to this as we await Donald Trump and Joe Biden meeting in the White House, which we have all of our feeds up right now. All the White House feeds effectively just show long lens shots of the White House as we sort of await the motorcade. When it starts moving to the White House, we'll let you know, and it's gonna be fun. Please appreciate the profound significance of this moment. Corrupt federal bureaucrats tried to shut down, bankrupt, and deport Elon Musk. Now Elon Musk is their boss, with the mandate to publicly humiliate and destroy them. Hollywood celebrities turned on Trump with leaks and fake stories and hundreds of millions in donations to his opponents. Those Hollywood celebrities used to love Trump. Well, guess what? President Trump now has unlimited access to the Diddy tapes and the Epstein list. TikTok, predators. What's Trump going to do? I mean, Hollywood's been pretty quiet. The FBI has all of the Diddy tapes. Apparently, they're sharing them with prosecutors. Everybody in Hollywood who was invited to a Diddy party went. Every single person in Hollywood will see their lives destroyed. And should, rightfully. We've said it on the show many, many times. We don't care if they're even if they're people that we know or happen to like. If you went to Epstein Island, if you flew on his plane, if you went to a Diddy party, you deserve to have your life destroyed. There should be no hiding. There should be no lies in this next administration. Woke generals who staged color revolution against Trump and kicked out patriots like Pete Hegseth from the military. They must all stand at attention and now salute Pete Hegseth until their court-martials, which should absolutely happen to Mark Milley. Democrat DOJ lawyers who viciously weaponized the legal system and tried to kill Trump any way they could will now all face their own special investigations, disbarment, and maybe worse. I could go on and on and on. This is biblical levels of revenge against evil. Vengeance is the Lord's, and it's only going to get better. Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk is explaining what he's about to do to the federal government that has tried to investigate, bankrupt, and deport him, and even worse. A reminder that Elon Musk is currently being federally investigated by 17 different federal agencies, all of his companies. And now they all answer to him. Ooh, back at you, bitch. Here we go.
We're going to be very open and transparent and be very clear about this is what we're doing. Here are the issues. This is the math for what's being spent. So we're going to make the spending lower. And if somebody's got a better idea for how to make the spending lower, tell us. But if we don't, we're going to bankrupt the country. And so we got to do something. And it's got to be some pretty big moves. Yeah. I'd say like drain the swamps. There's so many swamps.
There are so many swamps, says Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk's entire timeline on X is just completely glorious. Here's Elon Musk. Pinned this. The people love it. It's seen by 60 million people. Elon Musk has been posting memes and has been absolutely slaughtering. Feels like a dream. The future is going to be amazing. It sure will. This is the only way, says Elon Musk to his counterpart, Vivek. Over the last 2 years, the Supreme Court has ruled that the administrative state is behaving in wildly unlawful ways. This is the Chevron decision, by the way, in case you're following along. This is the Supreme Court's decision, which was a profound decision and decided unanimously by the Supreme Court. Actually, giving the vote for Chevron, it was a majority vote. I think was it 6-3 or was it 7-2? It was an awesome win. What the Chevron decision said is that the federal agencies that oversee and regulate must be given that power by Congress. It can't be created out of thin air by an executive order by the stroke of the pen from the president. Those federal agencies don't actually have any power. And the only body that can give federal agencies power over the American people is Congress, because then we have a escape hatch or a pressure release valve to hit. When it comes to Congress, we can vote them out. We can change up the leadership. We get a say every single 2 years in the House. Every single term, a third of the Senate is up for re-election. And so we can change parties very quickly. That's the way that the founders intended it, so that there is a immediate feedback loop from us to the people in charge. What happens with permanent government bureaucracies forever is that there is no feedback loop. So this is what Vivek is saying and what Elon Musk is confirming. Slapping the bureaucracy on the wrist won't solve the problem. The only right answer is massive downsizing. Spoken like a true billionaire there, Elon Musk, also a billionaire, saying, yep, this is what we're going to do. Some of this stuff is not merely a waste of money, but outright evil, saying people are digging through what the federal government actually spends our money on. Why do we need a Department of Government Efficiency? In 2020, the U.S. government spent $4.5 million to spray alcoholic rats with bobcat urine. We're going to end it. We're going to stop it. People, some of the English leaders of the conservatives in England saying we need this in Britain. It's amazing. It's amazing. Elon, this is my favorite tweet of the day because it speaks to exactly why we do this program. Elon getting a bunch of otherwise disengaged young men interested in how the government works is an existential threat to the current system in ways that cannot be quantified. Correct. Repost from us. Here we go. Exactly, says Elon Musk. Yep. Trump won the election, has the House, the Senate, popular vote, a mandate from the entire country, repudiation of woke culture. Potential Supreme Court picks, 250th anniversary of America, Olympics, World Cup, and a mandate from heaven maximize this moment. I think they're going to. Donald Trump is maximizing this moment by putting John Ratcliffe in charge of the CIA. John Ratcliffe is somebody that may not be a household name, but he certainly should be. John Ratcliffe is a man who was director of national intelligence in the first administration. He is one of the only people that didn't flip on Trump, was totally loyal to the end, has remained loyal in defending Donald Trump. You remember Peter Strzok, the guy who was the disgraced FBI agent who used FBI phones in order to attack President Trump and say he's going to stop his election. This is what John Ratcliffe did to Peter Strzok.
The approximately 50,000 text messages that I've seen with your personal beliefs like F Trump, stop Trump, impeach Trump, go ahead and confirm on the record that none of that occurred on an official FBI device or on official FBI time. Go ahead and do that.
Sir, no, they did. Many of them did.
Oh, they did. Okay, so
50,000, sir.
So really, no, I'll give you a chance at the end. So what you really meant to say was that when you said you never crossed that bright, inviolable line, what you meant to say was, except for 50,000 times, except for hundreds of times a day where I went back and forth. expressing my personal opinions about effing Trump and stopping Trump and impeaching Trump on official FBI phones on official FBI time. Other than that, you never cross that line. I'm sure there are 13,000 FBI agents out there that are beaming with pride at how clearly you've drawn that line. Agent Strzok, are you starting to understand why some folks out there don't believe a word you say, and why it's especially troubling that you, of all people, are at the center of the 3 highest profile investigations in recent times that involve President Trump, and that you were in charge of an investigation investigating, gathering evidence against Donald Trump, a subject that you hated, that you wanted to F him, to stop him, to impeach him? And do you see why that might call into question everything you've touched on all of those investigations? Chairman, I'm done with this witness and I yield back.
Totally badass, man. That man is now in charge of your CIA. You ready for this? Dude's now in charge of the CIA. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. We have some rumors that Kash Patel will be in charge of the FBI. Now, we said that Kash Patel would be great at the CIA. Little birdies told us that FBI or CIA. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see. Hey, Alex, do we have that clip? The rumors of Kash Patel at the FBI? Since we're on the topic, because we publicly advocated for Kash to be CIA director, I think John Ratcliffe is a spectacular pick. Not upset about it at all. Kash Patel for FBI director? Abso-freaking-lutely. Here we go.
Other name that I'm hearing this morning as well is the next batch of nominations is going to be Attorney General and FBI Director. And I'm hearing Kash Patel. This has not been confirmed. The president has not made a final decision on that, but he wants to clean house. They're next.
All right, baby. Here we go. We got some updates for you. President Trump is rolling right now. We can show you President Trump rolling out of the Capitol. There's no audio here, right? It's just street noise, but this is Donald Trump's motorcade. Full Secret Service presidential package there. Donald Trump not in the beast just yet. But ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is heading to the belly of the beast, which has been the White House. And speaking of outside of the White House, there are MAGA hats right now. This is amazing. Look at this. Trump soon. Trump soon.
And really enjoyed being with you all as we
Look
go
at
through
this.
this
MAGA
historic
hats
day.
outside the
And,
White House.
Karl Rove is still with us, and as this drive happens,
awesome.
There's anticipation on both sides.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is an important moment for the
Shut up,
country.
Karl
We need
Rove.
to see these two men meet. We need to hear that.
I don't want to hear from Karl Rove. I want nothing. I don't want Karl Rove to ever speak again, ever, anywhere. Karl Rove needs to be one of these guys that we kick out of the party, along with Mitch McConnell. Yeah, we're finished with people like that. They are willing sleeper cells for the Democrat Party. They exist inside of Democrat Party superstructures. They can be activated, and they often are, in order to impeach Donald Trump, to talk smack about Donald Trump, to imprison our movement. Enough. Donald Trump may be forgiving. We certainly are not. Here's some more excitement as we await, ladies and gentlemen, President Trump meeting officially with Joe Biden. Pete Hegseth will be the new head of the Pentagon. Pete Hegseth, ladies and gentlemen, for Secretary of Defense. You, of course, know Pete Hegseth. He has a big platform on Fox. He has a weekend show on Fox and is regularly appearing on Fox. Donald Trump has come forward and said he is the man for this moment right now. Very, very excited about it. Let's read to you in part from Pete Hegseth's announcement by Donald Trump. I'm honored to announce that Pete Hegseth will serve my cabinet as Secretary of Defense. Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops, the country. Pete is tough, smart, true believer in America first. With Pete at the helm, America's enemies will be on notice. Our military will be great again. We'll never back down. Pete is a graduate of Princeton University, graduate degree from Harvard University. He's an Army combat veteran, did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, Afghanistan. His actions on the battlefield are decorated with 2 Bronze Stars, as well as Combat Infantryman Badge. Combat Infantryman's Badge. Try that again. Pete has been a host on Fox News for 8 years. He used the platform to fight for our military and veterans. Pete's recent book, War on Warriors, spent 9 weeks on the bestseller list, including 2 weeks as #1. His book reveals a left-wing betrayal of our warriors that now must be rooted out of our military in order to bring back meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. Pete has also led 2 veteran advocacy organizations, leading the fight for our warriors and great veterans. Nobody fights harder for the troops than Pete. Could you imagine like how the celebrations that must be taking place right now inside of our American military? If you're a member of the military or if you're a veteran, shout yourself out in the comment section right now. We know we have a huge military viewership and listenership. We thank you so very much for your service. And this is how we actually honor your service, by putting in people who could run a mile, right? Who could actually do some PT, who are actual fighters, war fighters, and not fat ass armchair generals who've just existed through paying off defense contractors, sliming their way up the DC ladder. There's nobody down bad more than the defense contractor space right now. They are losing their minds. That Pete Hegseth is going to be the man in charge. It's so awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be monitoring this very, very closely. It's a meltdown that took place on CNN last night that's capturing the attention of the internet as Pete Hegseth is defended by Scott Jennings, who has done God's work, frankly, on CNN. He's a Republican consultant and political advisor. In every single SmackDown clip on CNN, CNN won't have on real conservatives. Every single SmackDown clip you see on CNN is Scott Jennings. So you'll recognize this dude. Here's him defending Pete Hegseth last night.
Anyone have confidence in the current leadership of the Pentagon and the way the defense situation has been operating for the last several years? I mean, from the Afghanistan pullout, which was an extreme debacle for which no one was held accountable. We've had spy balloons flying over the United States. We built a $300 million pier as a public relations stunt, which wound up killing an American service member. I'd say I've had just about enough of the so-called insiders running the Defense Department. I think we ought to give Pete Hegseth a chance because he's got two
insiders.
All the criticism of him is that he's not the expected Washington pick. And I'm just saying to you that the American people just voted against the expected Washington pick. So he's got 20 years in service, Afghanistan, Iraq, 2 Bronze Stars, Princeton, Harvard. Yeah, he's on TV, but so are the rest of us.
By the way, I think he ought
that
to
list
be
you
given
just
a chance.
gave
Is really interesting because you highlighted a bunch of things that the civilian leadership of the country decided on, and the military, their job was just to execute. They execute.
How did it go?
I'm just saying.
I mean, how did it go?
In terms of the decision making, you're assigning decision making responsibility to the military over things that civilians were responsible for.
So you make a good point. The civilian leadership made decisions, and then the people they put in charge of the Pentagon carried it out. And it was all pretty much a disaster. So now we have a new president who I think got elected in part because of some of those disasters, and he's going to put in some of the non-insiders in charge of not just this agency, but a bunch of them. Now, look, they've got to perform. They've got to perform. I mean, we got 53 U.S. senators that are Republicans. And Pete Hegseth, he's an American hero. The man won 2 Bronze Stars for his service, and he's been a champion for veterans. He's going to have to go up there just like everybody else and prove his knowledge of how to do this job. He's not immune from that, but we ought to give this man a chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there are viral clips of Pete Hegseth rocking around the internet. Hey, Alex, can you grab me that clip as we await Donald Trump's arrival at the White House? We'll see. You never know how long these things take. Can you grab me that clip from the Sean Ryan show? Pete Hegseth talking about what he will do on day 1. Got to grab that one. Let's grab that one. Something people need to understand, says Charlie Kirk, as, again, we monitor all of the feeds. Right now, the White House feed just shows, we'll show you, just in case this is the White House feed right now, currently. Now, you can see people on the balcony. You can see the Marines standing at the ready. But this is what we have currently, right? President Trump is not there. When President Trump arrives, though, we'll cut in. And I have a feeling we're going to get a pretty solid feed all the way through President Trump's arrival. They're going to do a joint press conference, right, in the Oval Office. It's going to be fun. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So here we are. Charlie Kirk making the full-throated defense of Pete Hegseth here. Let's rock and roll. Something people need to understand about the Hegseth pick. Our military is in crisis. Our Navy can barely build ships anymore. Our Army has squandered years of munitions on the Ukraine quagmire. Our soldiers are out of shape. Morale is low. Our country lost in Afghanistan and is losing right now to the Houthis in Yemen. Our military purged thousands of experienced patriots for not getting a COVID shot. Professors warn that standards at our service academies have declined precipitously. Our military had officers pick a fight with Tucker Carlson because he didn't want pregnant women on the front lines. Our military admits mentally ill people and demands that the taxpayers pay for unnecessary medical procedures. Our generals leak to the media about defying orders and that they might not like President Trump. All of this happened with experienced establishment generals running things. It's unacceptable. Continues. Our country will keep losing wars, and we can't afford to lose any more wars. We need a SecDef who understands the scale of this problem, is ready for bold, decisive action. Smarter outsider like Pete Hegseth is a brilliant man who's thrived in the military and academia and finance and media. He understands the nature of the crisis, ready to lead the attack immediately. The people complaining about these things are fine. They're afraid of losing cushy securities and lavish contracts. They want to maintain a failing status quo that works for them. They should be ignored. That's right. We agree. We agree 100%. Pete Hegseth is a total G. Ladies and gentlemen, we maintain absolute eyes on the breaking news environment right now. Mike Lee has just posted. Mike Lee is somebody who endorsed Rick Scott last night. Mike Lee posting just a moment ago, literally seconds ago, on the X account that ALX and Danny and I started for him. We literally grabbed his phone and created base Mike Lee. Okay, here we go. We're about 90 minutes into the Senate GOP conference. We will likely cast the first round of ballots in the Republican leader race sometimes in the next 30 minutes after speeches from the three candidates. Nominating and seconding them conclude. Okay. All right. So it looks like we'll have a vote maybe around the before the 12 o'clock hour. Rock and roll, baby. Here we go. President Trump will be arriving at the White House very, very soon. We're going to capture it all here at the live feed of the White House right now, just in case you're wondering if you're missing anything. This will capture President Trump's arrival. This is where all heads of state, whenever you see like a head of state arriving at the White House, this is where they all come rolling in. And you can see people there. You can see off into the distance, people on the balcony. That's the executive office building. That's where all the staff for the vice president work and all the staff for various governing agencies work. Our friend, Congressman Mike Waltz, has become the national security advisor. He's Donald Trump's selection for national security advisor. That's where his office is going to be. Mike Waltz. He's Representative Mike Waltz is a Florida congressman. He's been a friend of the show and been on the show many, many times. So here is where Donald Trump is arriving. That is certainly not Donald Trump schlomping out from underneath the camera angle there, but we are monitoring live, ladies and gentlemen. Pete Hegseth, since we're on this, and since clearly there are many, many military members in the audience, again, shout yourself out in the chat. If you served this country, if you're actively serving this country, shout yourself out in the chat and start your day off right? Get some love from this audience who loves our American military. The number one way to show your love and appreciation for Veterans Day was just a day ago, and for our American service members, is to not start wars, to not begin pointless wars, and most importantly, to not lose wars. This is what Pete Hegseth is all about. Here's a clip that went thermonuclear last night of Pete Hegseth on our friend Sean Ryan's show, explaining what's going to happen when he runs the Department of Defense.
The Pentagon is in the book, the exact amount of years, but in the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, the Pentagon has a perfect record in all of its war games against China. We lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. We know what our real capability. You see, we didn't even get to this part of the war on warriors. I mean, the military industrial complex, the way we procure weapon systems, we're always, the way our system works, the way our bureaucratic system works, where the speed of weapons procurement works, we're always a decade behind in fighting the last war. Whereas China, we have, what did Rumsfeld say? You go to the war, the army you have. We have the army. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. So if our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe, and yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
Yeah.
I mean, and if they've already got us by the balls economically, which you pointed out very well, with our grid, culturally, there's plenty of elite capture going on around the globe. I mean, and then microchips and everything. Why do they want Taiwan? They want to corner the market completely on the technological future. We can't even drive our cars without the stuff we need out of China these days. I mean, they have a full spectrum, long-term view of not just regional, but global domination. And we have our heads up our asses.
Yeah.
And
this is what it looks like to have adults back in charge. Do you hear me? Can I get a witness? This is what it looks like to have adults back in charge. We have our heads up our asses. China is getting filthy rich off us losing wars, stealing our technology, and planning to defeat us militarily. We need to get our heads out of our asses and learn how to win a war again. I wonder, here's my recommendation. Start immediately running ads about how kick-ass the American military is. Start immediately, hire Michael Bay. Hire Hollywood directors to come in and to make actual ads about what our American military can accomplish and what we can do. Not woke, social justice, virtue signaling, identity politics garbage. Appeal to men. Appeal to war fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Trump in the Oval with Joe Biden. Here we go. You got it? Nope. Producers, gotta. Where's our feed? There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go. Up. Okay, Donald Trump live in the office with Joe Biden. No audio yet. Here we go. You can hear it. Ooh, boy. Here we go. Getting wrangled. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, going to be the broken audio. Thank you. Here's what's happening right now. Right now, they're doing a photo. They're getting a photo together. So this was just like a photo. It's called a photo spray, and they send the photographers in to do a photo spray. It takes about 45 seconds. So you get your photograph of the two leaders together, and then they usher everybody out, and then they do a press conference. So right now, the meeting is taking place. So apparently, Klein, we can hear this. Stop it. Apparently, and yeah, go back. Let's show it again if that's what we're trying to do. Let's go back and lock in. There was a glitch in the feed. It's only 45 seconds. Okay, good. All right, boys, grab me that clip one more time. Grab me the full clip. It's some breaking news. Every camera on God's green earth wants to cover this news right now. So it's going to be a rowdy environment. We have our entire production team locked in and online. Boys, grab me that clip of everything we have with Donald Trump and Joe Biden in the Oval Office. Because it was Welcome back to the center of the universe. The White House has been very sleepy over the last couple of years, and we are heading back, boys. Oh, yeah, we are totally going back. Now, my producers are telling me that there was no shots of the arrival, so they must not have allowed cameras to capture Donald Trump's arrival. Ladies and gentlemen, we will clip and get you what we have so far. The two presidents have not spoken any words to each other on camera as of yet. Fox News saying that they were caught off guard, that nobody was prepared for this, and the total exchange of like smiles and a roaring fire lasted only 45 seconds. Here it is. This is not live. We just played it for you live with the cameras being bounced around and sent out. Here is that what was played live just seconds ago, clipped. Rock and roll. Look at Joe. Look at the smile on Joe's face. Donald Trump cracking a joke. Pause. You'll notice there the bust of RFK over the shoulder of Joe Biden. A spectacular reminder that RFK's son was the strongest ally against Joe Biden and the regime machine superstate of Marxists in fighting alongside Donald Trump. So there's some poetic biblical justice right there in this shot alone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. So here's where the audio kind of cuts out. You can see the handlers. The handlers are going to be shoving, literally physically shoving the cameras. But there they are. Donald Trump leaning into Joe Biden, cracking a joke. A photographer getting, this has got to be the White House photographer, sneaking around from behind there and capturing this moment. Joe Biden looks happy, doesn't he? Joe Biden looks thrilled. This is the happiest Joe Biden's ever been. Look at him. Joe Biden's beaming. Joe Biden beaming. Okay, now we have different camera angles. We capture a handshake here in the next one. This is going to be your Grand Central Station, ladies and gentlemen, for what's actually happening at the White House today. The two presidents have said nothing into the microphones to each other. I think they've whispered to each other. Here's the handshake moment.
Well, Mr. President,
right here.
Elect and former president, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having a, like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Back.
And, thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this is the let's capture the handshake moment there. There it is right there. Pause. Oh yes. With the burning fire. The fire rises with the burning fire behind him. Oh, there's the photo. There it is. Let's put it up, baby. That's beautiful. Look at that one. Check this out, guys. Oh yeah. Oh man, look at Biden. Oh, this is great. Oh, yeah, baby. Into my veins. Into my freaking veins. Look at Joe Biden. He looks scared, boy. I wonder if Joe Biden's going to ask for a pardon. I wonder if he's going to ask for a pardon for his son, who has the full teeth of the federal government coming after him right now, and rightfully so. And he shouldn't get a pardon. Joe Biden was not going to pardon Trump. Look at this. Look at that. More rolling in. So here's what happened. People weren't able to go live because the exchange was so short. They were able to effectively just film the exchange coming out. Now that film is now that exchange is being played out. It just played on Fox News. Do we have this clip, Killer Klein? Okay, so here's Fox playing live to tape. Let's go.
We want to go inside the Oval Office. Let's watch.
In many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
We're so back,
So
boys.
obviously this was in progress. And in my studio, we have a lot of networks on at the same time. So I can see out of the corner of my eye. This caught everybody off guard.
Yeah. You can see the moments ago there on Fox, everybody was scared. Look at Joe Biden's face. Look at this photo. This is great. Look at his photo. Oh, fantastic. Look at Joe. Oops, I crapped my pants. Look at Joe. The return of the king. Look at President Trump. That's what Alpha Locked In looks like. Alpha Locked In. Courtroom Trump face. That's exactly right. Joe Biden. Look at him. Look at Joe Biden squirm. Oh, it's glorious. What an exciting moment. What a special moment. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. Right now, this is called the photo spray. They didn't really give any public. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, there you go. Grab it. They didn't really give any. There you go. This is a higher quality one, but well done. Well done, team. They didn't give any public comments. What happened last time was Trump met Barack Obama. They had a meeting that lasted in the 30 to 45-minute range. And then they did a joint presser. They called the media back in and they explained what they talked about. They put the mics on, right? They let the media cover it. And then they explained what was going on. All right. What they talked about, how they engaged with each other, what they plan on doing in the transition for power. And so that's what we expect to happen now. Currently, right now, this second, this meeting is going on. Oh man, zoom in on Joe Biden's face. That's just too perfect. Zoom in on Joe. Look at Put this up on everything. Put this up on every social media platform that we have to every audience. This is the amazing Ashley. Call this the single greatest photo in political history. That's what this is. Put it up. Let's put it up. The single greatest photo in political history with a picture emoji with the flash. Just perfect. It says everything. Look at that. It's just freaking perfect. So let's go from Joe Biden to Donald Trump. There you go. The definition of locked in. Are you ready? Joe Biden's so scared. I wonder what they're going to do. We're going to have some guests on here in just a moment. Robbie, okay, so we're pouring in. Now the photos are pouring in of these two. Oh, they're great. You can toss them all up. Robbie, see if we can get any member of Congress. We have so many wonderful members of Congress that come on this program. See if you can get, I know that they're in meetings right now. See if you can get anybody to pop on, Robbie, and tell us what that Trump speech was like. Troy Nels, Burchett, all of our friends, all of our homies up in Congress. Get them to come on. I don't care if they join via FaceTime. Just pop them on. Let's go. The reason why it was tough to schedule a member of Congress right now is because Trump was speaking with them just moments ago. Trump addressed the entire conference. Mike Johnson there, the entire conference leadership there. President Trump traveling with multiple members of Congress. Some of our favorites are literally not available for the best possible reasons. Look at this. Chat, have you ever seen Joe Biden freaking happier? Look at this. Look at Biden. Look at these faces. This is also equally a perfect photo. This is the runner-up. This is a very honorable silver medal to the last one. Oh, a perfect photo. Look at this guy. Which Biden is it? Is it number 4 or number 7? I like number 4. Which Biden did they have come out today? I don't know. Looks like he needs to get some work done, though. Looks like he's malfunctioning. Just a little bit in the eyes. Look at those hands. Joe Biden's not doing well. Joe Biden not doing great. Holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, little snippets, because this took everyone by surprise, little snippets of this are coming out, and there's now news breaking across Capitol Hill, including members of Congress saying they're going to put Dr. Fauci in jail. Are you freaking ready? Also, Donald Trump's potentially future attorney general will be joining the program in just a moment. Mark Paoletta. So this is going to be an exciting time. What we will be waiting for, however, is the full press conference with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. What do they talk about? What do they speak about? Elon Musk is at the White House right now, according to reports. Elon Musk is in the halls of the White House, measuring the drapes, as they say. Where would a Starlink fit? Where could I put a Starlink and a Tesla charger? Right? How could I get a Cybertruck in here? Elon Musk making a rocket landing pad, not launching pad. No. Rocket landing pad, because we can catch the rockets now. Here's what CNN was able to grab. CNN was able to grab a clip that we haven't shown you yet, which is the welcome back. Wow, Joe Biden playing it nice here. Joe Biden saying, welcome back to the White House. Have a listen.
Leader of the free world. All right, let's go to this. Their meeting.
Looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So good. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Quite a change of tune from one of the last times that Joe Biden talked about Donald Trump. We should get that clip. Can we get that clip? The Biden flashback where he says that he's going to do everything in his power to prove that Donald Trump will not ever return to the White House. Oh, it's glorious. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in biblical moments, here's one. So you just saw Joe Biden welcoming Donald Trump back to the White House. Joe Biden looking like he's in a Depends commercial, right? The first part of the Depends commercial where the adult accident happens. This was Joe Biden, cock of the walk, right? Quite sure of himself. Just a few months ago, this clip's about 20 months old. Here's Joe Biden talking about Donald Trump.
G7 conversation was tied to your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them, if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by if he does run, making sure he under legitimate efforts of our Constitution does not become the next president again.
We must demonstrate that he will not take power, says Joe Biden. Joe Biden, we will demonstrate that he will not take power. And a few moments later, here's Joe Biden and Donald Trump shaking hands in the White House as Donald Trump retakes power.
All right, let's go to this. Their meeting.
Moments later.
Looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So good. Welcome back.
Welcome back, says Joe Biden after he called Donald Trump and all the supporters trash and garbage. Well, we're taking out the garbage today, baby. Oh, man. Legitimacy is back in the White House. Such an important moment, such a valuable moment in this country's history. We're so proud to have been here. Well, from pretty much the very beginning. I watched President Trump leave office in Washington, D.C. I said, I'm getting the hell out of here. We're going to build something new. We're going to create something outside of this demonic cesspool of Washington. I watched what they did to Trump in the 2020 election. I said, this is wrong. I said, this is sick. And I said that I'm going to devote my life to making sure that this never happens again. So it's been an emotional moment. It's been an emotional time. It's so wonderful to see the return. The Trump years were glorious in Washington, D.C. And ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. The return of the king. We recorded something on the eve of Trump leaving Washington continues to go viral to this day. It's one of our very few, very rare TikTok style videos. I'm not sure if we replace the audio or not. If not, we just play it without any audio. But yeah, this was me, flashback, young Benny, 4 years ago, on President Trump departing Washington, D.C. This was right before I left Washington, D.C. for similar reasons, because I was just sick of it. I was disgusted by the lies. And boy, what a 4 years it's been. Here we go. Be right. It's good to be right. You know, the great thing about about the internet is that there's a record of these things. And so you know who's a liar today. I'm not going to name any names because I'm in a very good mood, but you know who's been lying to you. You can see who were the creators who 4 years ago told you what happened to Donald Trump was evil, wrong, that this is not the will of the American people, that what's happening right now is an illegitimate regime in Washington, D.C. Who were the individuals who defended President Trump over the past 4 years, ladies and gentlemen? And who are the ones who did everything that they could to prevent Donald Trump from taking office, including but not limited to siding with Democrats to try and persecute, destroy, and kill him? It's a wonderful thing to be able to dig back in the archives 4 years ago and to see that at the very least our show has been ideologically, morally consistent in this. And so it is a wonderful return. We monitor very closely President Trump and Joe Biden, who are currently actively meeting at the White House right now. The feed, of course, will show us just simply the outside shots of the White House. This is what's available to the press at the current moment. But ladies and gentlemen, America's golden age is beginning right now before your very eyes. Are you excited about it? Speaking of gold, my friends at Allegiance Gold can make sure that you are prepared for America's new golden age. Allegiance Gold helps me purchase my gold. I have decided to not buy into gold stocks or equities. I buy physical gold. I think this is what I think this is freaking awesome. I feel like a prospector. It's not a lot, but it's something you can hold in your hand. And I think that has physical value in a world of like $30 trillion debt and fake money and zeros on a balance sheet that are totally digital and don't actually exist in real life. Ladies and gentlemen, invest in something that withstands the test of time. Will we go back to the gold standard under Trump? Don't know. Get up to $5,000 win free silver with a qualifying investment when you go to protectwithbenny.com today or call 844-66-BENNY. Protectwithbenny.com today. Call 844-66-BENNY. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorneys or financial professionals when making an investment decision. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have more interesting and awesome cabinet announcements, or at the very least, people that we would like to publicly advocate for. My team sent along a clip that they're demanding that we play, Pete Hegseth, saying that Pete Hegseth has made it very, very clear what the problems were in the last clip, but what he's going to do as the Secretary of Defense. So before we move from the Pete Hegseth decision that's already made to decisions that may be made today about RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play you this because those who shouted themselves out as veterans in the military, or if you have a child or anybody that is in your family that serves in the military like I do. I did not serve in the military myself, but I have brothers who did and did painful, quite frankly, service, door-to-door house raids, man, in ISIS-controlled territories. And it's like any family that understands the weight of having their family members in a war zone or the potential to go to a war zone knows how valuable leadership like this is, okay? I certainly know it and I feel it. And I just want to say thank you to President Trump for putting this man in charge of America's military. Here's what must happen to save the American military.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire, you got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, it's got to go. Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. That's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, I don't know, 1995, let's just make those the standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I, at least for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken, and you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
We need warfighters who don't cater to socially correct garbage. We need to cut the woke shit. Quoting directly our new Secretary of Defense. And we're going to need to actually do some ads that will recruit real Americans who are built for battle. How many members of our military could run a mile right now? It's time to bring back honor. It's time to bring back masculinity. And it's time to bring back a sense of actual purpose to our United States military. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Sam hangs in our studio. As you can see, they stay based as we get, what's the update on the full America? I want the America map. Jamie, where are we at? I want the full map of the Trump victory right here. I want it done today. We're going to get it today. Today we get it printed and then we put it up on the wall. Today that is the mission. Ladies and gentlemen, updates for Senate leadership. Casting ballots right now. Casting ballots right now. We'll see. We'll see if the first act of DC Republicans is to sabotage President Trump. Is this going to be the first act of Senate Republicans? Many from the White House, well, I say the White House, I'm talking about people who, and you can pop that up, I'm talking about people who will be working in the White House and beyond. Stephen Miller just posting a photo of himself in the West Wing again. That's it. Just a photo. This is the post. This is the full post. There's Stephen Miller, our dear friend, an ally in this fight, posting just a photo of the Rose Garden. No, it's going to be glorious. Oh, it's going to be it's just going to be great. Can't wait to do our own TikToks of the White House, right? Remember Cooper? Remember Cooper? Yeah, we'll do our own Benny version of that. And Danny, make sure we get Cooper loaded up. Show you exactly what we are evicting from the White House. And man, I hope they got some cleaning supplies for this. So the Senate is voting right now on leaders on their leader. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll also see what happens with some other very important nominations for President Trump. Who will be the press secretary? Alina Habba has been speculated to be the press secretary. Alina Habba, obviously a dear ally and friend of our show, somebody who's regularly on this program. Alina Habba was asked point blank last night, are you going to be the press secretary for the White House? Here's how it went.
Let's talk about the possibility and reports that you might be the president's press secretary. Any truth to it?
I leave it to the president and 3 people that are on my board of directors. That's Luke, Chloe, and Parker, my children. Everybody will know in time.
All right, now I got to go in a little harder. Have there been any discussions about it?
Sean, you know me better than that. You would never have me on prime time if I answered questions like that. Look, President Trump has put together an amazing cabinet. I'm really proud of the work that him and his transition team have done. I think when we look at everybody, they are killing it on all fronts. America's excited for, frankly, sorry to use Mrs. Waltz's term, but turn a page. It's time to turn the page. It's time to have advocacy for America first. And whatever that looks like for President Trump and his team, I trust it. It's a decision for all of them to make, not me.
All right, serious question. If you were asked to serve in that role or any other role, would you?
I am very loyal to President Trump. I would think about it very seriously.
Okay.
All right, baby. She says she'll think about it very seriously. What about this? What about Dan Bongino as Secret Service director? Come on, baby. This is according to Real Clear Politics and Politico, saying that Dan Bongino is under serious consideration for the Secret Service director role. And, well, little birdies tell us that Dan's open to it. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. The number one thing we're not going to do is push fake news, right? We'll tell you when somebody is flatly rejecting something. Like, here's a rejection from this morning. A rejection from this morning was Vivek Ramaswamy said, I will not be the next senator from Ohio. Okay. J.D. Vance, we've only seen him one time today. Now, J.D. Vance is in the Senate leadership. I wonder if J.D. Vance spoke. You know, that'd be very interesting. Did J.D. Vance speak during the Senate leadership meeting right now? That'd be pretty fascinating. But anyway, there was speculation that Vivek would be appointed as a senator from Ohio. That'd be kind of cool. But Vivek is instead going to be devoting his full time to working at Doge. Here's the Post, right? We're not going to, we would never put up this Bongino news if we hadn't independently verified that Dan Bongino's quite interested in that position. Wouldn't that be awesome to have Dan Bongino in charge of the Secret Service? Holy freaking crap, man. It'd be so awesome. And let's shut down a couple things. Vivek will not be the next senator from Ohio. He's going to work at Doge with Elon Musk. I will not be serving as the next senator from Ohio. Vivek writing, let's put that to bed. I know that Vivek has interesting aspirations. This Doge operation is going to hopefully exist forever, but will be operating in the next over the next 2 years. Donald Trump says he wants it done by July 4th, 2026. Elon Musk posting this morning that hey, we'll get it done faster than that. Here's Elon Musk explaining what they're going to do at Doge. This is, of course, one of the biggest updates over the last 24 hours, along with Secretary of Defense. We await potentially Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. We hear that there might be an RFK appointment today. We also have these 2 members of Congress saying that Dr. Fauci needs to go to prison, just as sort of an addendum to that. Here we go.
Please. What I'd like to see out of that is Anthony Fauci checking into the Gray Bar Hotel for a long period of time.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it.
Okay, that's topical nomenclature for getting put in jail. Now, Elon Musk posted once again over the last 24 hours, my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. So Elon Musk wants to see Dr. Fauci in prison. Elon Musk is effectively in charge of Dr. Fauci now. Dr. Fauci gets a fat government pension. However, if you've been proven to have defrauded the American taxpayers and created a virus that killed millions of people, it cost the country $20 trillion, the world $20 trillion, then maybe you should be put in prison. Dr. Fauci, ladies and gentlemen. This will be very, very, very fun. Elon Musk explaining in detail. Oh, here you go. Here's Killer Klein. Very quickly, my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. There you go. Elon Musk posting yesterday what he intends on doing, prosecuting Dr. Fauci. Here's how he's going to do it. Elon Musk explaining what Doge will do and how they will approach the federal government. This is the biggest update at the current moment. And no doubt what Joe Biden and Donald Trump may be talking about at this very second in the White House.
We're going to be very open and transparent and be very clear about this is what we're doing. Here are the issues. This is the math for what's being spent. So we're going to make the spending lower. And if somebody's got a better idea for how to make the spending lower, tell us. But if we don't.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We've already played that clip. Killer Klein says, my bad. We've already played that clip. I want to talk about, this is Elon Musk talking about what Doge will be looking at when it comes to the epicenter of government waste, which is the Department of Defense. Here we go.
Our defense budget is pretty gigantic. It's $1 trillion. But the interest that we owe on the debt is now higher than the defense budget, over $1 trillion and growing. This is not sustainable. So we have to do something about that, or the country's going to go bankrupt. So that's an essential thing too. Yeah, so that's why we need the Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE. That's on a brass plaque on a desk. It's going to be amazing. So, it's exactly as people were saying. It's just it's common sense stuff, and America really just needs to remain the land of opportunity, the land where your success is a function of how hard you work and your talent. Like if you're talented and hardworking, that should be the only thing that determines whether you are successful. That's it. And America is also supposed to be the land of freedom. That means personal freedom. Like the government should not be imposing all these rules on people, and it's like yeah. So government overreach is not cool. Freedom. Yeah, exactly. Twitter files. I mean, it was just nutty. People don't realize just how much government involvement there is in the media, and like how much the government influences the media. I mean, it's crazy how you'll see in fact, I think like whoever's manipulating the media should mix it up a bit because they're really not doing a great job.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were able to check in with our Senate leadership vote. You can see I just pulled my hair out of my head. I have to report to you that Rick Scott has not made the first round of votes. The two remaining senators are John Thune and John Cornyn. So the first act in the Republican Senate has been a betrayal of you, the Republican voters. This sucks. We've obviously muscled and done everything in our power. Guys, this is exactly what we reported. These are the exact numbers that we reported. There they are. We've done everything in our power to pull across the finish line this sabotage of President Trump's agenda from the outset. This is sick. It is sick what these senators have done. Thune got 23 votes. Cornyn got 15 votes. Scott got 13 votes. Thune was 4 short of winning on the first ballot. So we'll see where the Scott votes go this time around. This is interesting because it is exactly, ALX, grab our post, please. This is exactly what the whip count was that we published just a few short hours ago. We published the whip count on Sunday. And would you look at that? Would you look at that? We were within a few votes. Look at that. ALX and Danny, I want you to re-up this list and say we were right. If you want to know, we were right effectively with the margins, with 1 or 2 margin votes, and just a few off. I mean, Senator Scott got 2 extra votes. We know who those are. Those are Marsha Blackburn and Ted Cruz. With that exception, we were literally dead on for who got which vote. And if you take those votes out of the Cornyn column, well, there you go. There's the Cornyn votes. So this is a perfect list. Guys, post this up right now. I want everybody to know we were right. Everybody attacked us for this list and said that this isn't real. Nope. You want to know where they all voted? Here it is. Post it up. I'm going to rub it in their faces. These people, oh, it makes me so angry. This is a day where there are so many good things happening right now. I'm sad to report to you, Rick Scott is out for Senate leader. Mitch McConnell has de facto won in the Senate by this vote because now they're going to go back and vote again, and their only options will be Thune or Cornyn, who are subservient lapdogs to Mitch McConnell. A grotesque moment of betrayal of the Republican Party and the Republican base by members of the Senate. A moment that you should be enraged because Mitch McConnell called this vote in the dark of night. It's a secret ballot. They called it very, very quickly. They should have waited weeks. President Trump was not allowed. Was President Trump allowed to address the Senate? No. President Trump was not allowed to address the Senate and make his case for who he wanted, although President Trump has not weighed in as to which candidate he wanted. And so you have to assume that there is massive amount of horse trading going on behind the scenes right now. It's frustrating. Boy, it's frustrating. Although Rick Scott getting 13, it's respectable. We're going to do our best, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do our best to fight back. We gave it everything we could. We published the actual list, and we were right. Damn it, we were right. Sons of bitches. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving along to a man who may actually be one of the bright, shining stars of the next administration. He certainly has been, as it pertains to Trump's legal battles. And one of the very few voices, I can't say the only voice because Mike Davis is our dear ally and friend and regularly on the program. Mike Davis was on the program earlier this week, making the case for a single individual to become the Attorney General of the United States of America. I would argue that you could potentially see this as the most important position in the next administration. Very easy argument. Who will that individual be? Our friend and ally, Mike Davis, submitted a single name saying Mark Paoletta needs to be the next Attorney General. Mr. Paoletta is a lawyer, senior fellow at Renewing America, former general counsel for the Office of Management and Budget under Trump, former chief counsel for the White House Energy and Commerce, helped confirm SCOTUS Justices Clarence Thomas under President George H.W. Bush, and of course now Clarence Thomas is in charge of the entire Supreme Court. So you can't get a better pedigree than this. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live now, the great Mark Paoletta. Mark, thank you again for being on the program. You don't have to hype yourself up, man. We'll do it for you. But wow, I got to tell you, you had a very strong recommendation by Mike Davis. And so I kind of just off the top here, man, would you serve as Attorney General if asked?
I love serving president. First of all, Mike Davis, I don't pay Mike Davis. He's just a great friend, and he's the greatest warrior for President Trump. But I'd love to serve